Yeah, I forgot, we sort of went out of camera a bit there. Alright, but anyway, all I did was the same as over on this side, just got to remember. I'm just going to come down and just with the blending stump, just putting in just a layer of graphite. Really, it's really just I'm just going over the fence as well, just lightly, just taking out a bit of that white. I haven't seen any white ground around. I'm just going over that, just pick up a bit of graphite on my stump there. Just doing it lightly. See, there was a little blemish on the paper here. I must have done it with one of my rulers, but that's going to work out really nice for the when we go in and do some detail on these. Alright, now we've sort of got it all. We're going to put I'm going to put in some clouds and that in there. In fact, we might just do that now, I think. We'll put that, and then we've got everything, and then we can just work more or less now, just working on detail. So we're going to go, I'm going to use my 5.4, it's a Koh-I-Noor class pencil, or clutch pencil. So just going to go, and there's several ways you can do this, guys. You can go in like this and just put down some graphite, just lightly. Or you can use graphite powder and and just sort of scrape it over, which can be messy, but it can be a really good effect though. So we're just going just randomly. We can always put more in or take more out. The thing is not to push too hard. Just lightly. Alright, now we're going to go and blend this. Blend it all in. And you notice when you're doing this, you're starting to get the tones. You got your dark, and the mid-tone, and then the light tone, and that's what we're after. And it's also, we're going to be using our well, I don't use the kneadable eraser. I use just ordinary old blue tack, and we're going to use that to just take out bits and pieces and put in some highlights. You might be using a kneadable eraser, that's fine, but I find that it's easier for me to, well, I prefer to use the blue tack. It's cheaper for one thing, and it's softer. I find I can mould it a lot easier in my hands. It's entirely up to you. You know, when you buy pencils and stuff, you usually get an edible eraser in amongst it all. Alright. Well, now we've got a little cloud scene in the background there. So we'll get out our kneadable eraser and, well, blue tack. Well, it's not very blue, it's quite white this, but it's very clean, it's only new. In fact, I don't even know if it is blue tack, but it's not a kneadable eraser. It's similar to blue tack anyway. It does the same job. And then what we do, we go in and you push it on there and twist it. You got to twist it, because otherwise you're going to leave shapes that we don't want. You know, if you just go like that, well, that's not what we want. So we twist it, and this gives us a beautiful texture for clouds, for skies and that. Just random, just go in there, move it around again, and we go in. See, move that, fold it in. Well, I've got some of my blue tack here, you know, is black. But you still mould it in and it still does the job. When I mould it, I mean, you know, squish it all up. Yep. Right. Okay, now in some cases that's, you know, it's a nice little drawing. Got a sky, got a foreground, we've got a middle ground, the horizon, what more do you want? Wow, okay. I think what we're going to do is we're going to put in a little bit more detail, and I think what we might do here is put in, we're going to put another fence, because this is sort of like, you know, it's a yard. It's a little yard that got a little cottage in the yard, yeah. And then you got your farm out here and your sheep and what have you. So, whatever, you know, stock you have. Depends which area you're in. In the area I live in, there's not a lot of stock around, but it's mostly all horticulture. There we go. We might make this one just a wire fence, because you get a lot of wire fences around here. So I want to just take that through to, we're going to take it through to there. Suppose that's off camera, is it? Yeah. Anyway, we'll just take that through to there. And we'll put a little post there. Alright. Okay, well, that's the end of part 3. Now, be sure to watch for part 4, because in part 4, I'm going to be going and doing all the little detail bits and pieces. I'm going to really make it pop. Now, if you've been following along, part 1, I don't know what happened with part 1. It just, nothing seemed to work properly. My editing system, but like, it was all good when I published and I put it up on YouTube, but for some reason it just didn't. I don't know. It wasn't very good. I don't know whether I should pull it down or not. But anyway, part 2, there was a little bit more detail. And part 3, well, you just watched it, and I'm really hoping that you got something out of it. I've done it in time, like I always say, because it just take too long to be able to record the whole process. Anyway, oh, and the other thing too, if you notice my my little plaster on my nose, I just thought I'd better mention, in case you think, oh, what's going on there? Well, I just had a biop done on my nose. I've had a few BCCs, basal cell carcinomas or something they're called. It's like skin cancer. But I've had a few of them removed, and I've got one on my nose, and I've had one removed before from my nose. I'm in the wrong hemisphere, you know. I'm actually, my family's from Belfast and Ireland, and of course we live way down the other end of the world, and in Australia, New Zealand and Australia, and I don't think the evolution is quite caught up yet with our skin. Anyway, enough of that. Thanks for watching, and we will see you in the next one.